All right. I believe we are live.
No, we're not.
Yeah,
Fake news.
you're fake news.
That is true.
Totally fake, like cryptid. Well, welcome everybody to our final game of our extra life weekend. We are playing a game of White Wings Glitterhearts. For those who may not know, Glitterhearts is a power. It's run on Powered by the Apocalypse. It is a magical girl team game. A little bit similar in the vein to Monster of the Week, but a lot more sparkly. And who do we have playing today?
I guess I'll go first. My name is Ninjaspence 21, and I will be playing Livie Nelson.
Alrighty. Who else we got? Oh,
Uh oh.
uh,
We can't tell who wants to go first. Oh no.
there's a dog stuck in here. Hang on.
Oh no. There's dogs. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I'm Grave. I'm playing Jaclyn Hannigan. Um, yeah. Ready to play some magical girl anime
All right, I'm back.
game.
And I am Frekiv, and I'm playing Cindy Hulu.
Don't give the game
Gee,
away yet.
gee, I wonder who that could be.
Gee, I
Yeah.
wonder. There's not a whole lot of
Gee, I wonder.
secret to secret identity in this one. Um, but why don't we start by you guys have decided to be college students, correct? Was that what you
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe that's our agreed upon. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty.
Like freshman level college.
Well, that's your civilian alter ego. Really, to tell the audience, what they are in reality is personifications of well-known Christmassy characters. And that is where their power as magical girls lies. But during, you know, any other time than Christmas and the holidays, there's not a big need for superpowered Christmas characters. Sometimes, you might need to help out the occasional CEO of a conglomerate who's being charmed by a fae posing as some really buff guy who runs a local Christmas tree farm. But until it comes to about this time of year, you guys can live pretty normally for the most part. You just know that if it comes down to it, you can transform into something much stronger than you are to the normal human eye. So, why don't we begin with it being December the 7th? And it is winding down for the first semester, for the fall semester. You might be getting closer, even finished with some of your finals. You find yourselves on campus. Where would you guys be?
I would be in the band room because I'm a music major who plays a giant upright bass.
Of course you are.
That
And they would be.
Liv would go on.
Oh no,
Sorry.
you go ahead.
No, that Liv will probably be up in the music room as well, as basically that she is a that she is also a music major as well. Well, just probably just basically just sitting around, just like doing just some little bit last minute studying for just at the last easy final she has to take care of.
And Cindy would probably be working or campaigning for one of the university's current philanthropy events that's coming up here shortly. Probably something along the lines of like Toys for Tots or something like that, since it's Christmas time. So she'd probably be walking around campus and through different halls and such, trying to solicit either volunteers or items or money for the cause, which potentially could be bringing her past the music room.
Would it be reasonable to say that Cindy is kind of in with like the activist crowd on campus?
Yes, I would say that's very accurate. And like she tries to use her social abilities to try to like bring in more people to the different causes and things that are going on. So yeah, I'd say the activist stuff would be pretty spot on for her.
All right. Well, let's say that you are currently walking near the music room, and suddenly your phone rings, and at the same time, you hear another familiar ringtone from the nearby music room. Liv, you also have your phone ring at the exact same time. You're simply not aware that it's the exact same moment. So, do you pick up your phone to see who's calling?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All
And I'm
three.
also
Yes.
making my
Hello.
way to peek into the music room since I heard the ringtone from in there too.
When you look at the screen, it doesn't say a
Mm-hmm.
name or a number. All it has is a snowflake. Just a little emoji snowflake. And you barely press the green button to pick up the call before you can even say anything. It's almost like it's a recording. It might not be, but you feel like you need to just listen. And on the other end you hear a female voice. It says, "Well, hello there, dears. I'm afraid we have some trouble up at headquarters at the North Pole. I realize that being the young people you are, you're probably very busy with school and such right now, but if you could find the time to please come and see if you can help us with a small issue we're having. If you would all meet together as quickly as possible at the clock tower at the library, I'll arrange for you all to show up at the same time. How about let's say in about 10 minutes? Thank you. Happy holidays. Click. You all
I didn't
know,
Then that.
huh?
I didn't pick it
No, go
up
on.
because I was just really deep into doing my
In
walking baselines.
in that case, you heard it in your head, which is very freaky, but you realize the phone thing is more of a courtesy from who
I
this call came from.
I try to match up the the what she's saying with my bass, and it just sounds really bad. No one else is knowing what I'm doing.
Well, Cindy, you, I'm assuming, did pick up your phone.
Yes.
And you also heard Jaclyn, correct, Topher? That's your character?
Yeah.
You heard Jaclyn's phone ring, but you do know Jaclyn. So you might want to check in to see if Jaclyn actually got the message.
Yes, on hearing the phone ring, especially since hers started ringing at the same time, she would have poked her head in, but she got distracted when the voice actually started talking, so she just kind of stood there and listened. And then once it was done, though, she then went over, "Hey, Jaclyn, did you hear that?"
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Uh a good baseline, right?
No, not that. The voice.
Oh,
Your phone
yeah,
rang.
yeah. Yeah, I didn't hear it ring and it kind of came in my head. Very weird, but that's life.
But
That Liv just comes just like rushing in from just like probably that just like a side room. And then that ass that y'all see running is kind of like a light brown skin, freckled face, kind of short of like a short bob with just like two kind of like braided bangs, and then as she has piercings on like her left eyebrow, and then she just like, oh, Cindy, Jaclyn, I'm glad that y'all made it. That did y'all get the call too?
Yeah, sure. I got a call. Yeah. Mhm. Mhm. Totally got it. Yes. Mhm.
The call, they
Definitely.
Mm,
just didn't answer the call, but they heard the call.
figured
Oh,
figured as much.
Do we need to describe characters or?
Yeah. Let's say from where you guys are, you're not completely across campus from the library that you know you need to get to, but when she said 10 minutes, you feel like you need to hoof it because the clock tower is also at the very top floor of the library. So, why don't we say, as you guys are making your way over to the library, you can describe what your civilian forms look like. Jaclyn.
Oh, well, a goth kid for one. So Jaclyn, they are about 5'10", uh, mostly femme presenting, but has like shorter hair that's bunned up. Huge glasses that make their eyes look a lot bigger than they really are. Piercings, obviously. Does the goth makeup, has a slight diastema, and is currently carrying like a bunch of Christmas stuff for Cindy and uh Livia.
Mm-hmm.
It's you think it's wreaths or hats. You think it's Christmas related, but you can't really tell because they have a weird they try to mishmash their weird love for like paganism and witchery with Christmas, and it's not working. It's a lot of like animal bones and other weird things on wreaths. But she smiles and hands one to you. It's like, I made this for y'all to hang up on your door.
You, they're lovely.
Very much so.
Cindy?
Cindy is just kind of your average girl next door type. She's got very pale skin with freckles and like a very light blonde hair. She loves to dress in very loud colors though, and her glasses, she's got like kind of the 50s like cat eye style with the red rims around it. And especially during Christmas time, she's just covered in like faux furs, big bows, like all these types of like very kitschy and yet somehow a little bit like avant-garde style fashion. Um as she's walking, she has her clipboard that she's looking down and she's frantically trying to like make last minute notes on everything that she completed for the day, for the rounds she was doing. But just is checking things off and making sure everything's good and then puts it away. I was like, okay, I'm ready to go. Let's do this.
Alrighty. Well, you all
And
are heading. Sorry,
go
go ahead.
on.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Go on.
Go ahead, Sid.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Then that, and just addition to just that appearance that I had gave earlier, that she would just basically be running with just like a bunch of like Christmas Carol notes and stuff, just basically just making sure that she is getting just those songs right and stuff. With just her trademark leather jacket on, that she's always looking like that she is ready to just go on stage and just get ready to just go out up in song and dance. And then as she is lagging behind the two of them, as then that we make our way to the clock tower.
Okay. Sorry, one sec. I was trying to find the. I was trying to find the character sheet so I could reference something, and it disappeared from where I thought it was. Sorry, this is only the second time I've run this game. Here we go.
All good.
All right. So, you all make it to the library, and you make it inside. Elevators are down. The librarian at the desk nearest them says, "Oh yeah, they're being worked on. I'll anytime you need to go through up the stairs to go to any of the other upper levels." The clock tower is on the fourth level of the library. Everyone is going to need to get up the stairs. So I need everyone to make a physical roll.
Oh,
Oh no. I'm not good at
first
that
roll
one.
of the. Okay.
Where character? Oh, there's my character sheet. Oh, I'm
Remind me
pretty good
again
at
how we
people.
roll for these. I'm sorry, it's been a while.
It's the 2d6.
Yeah, it's
Oh, I'm
2d6
sorry.
like Monster of the Week.
Okay, and then if you have a plus or a minus for that stat, you just add or subtract that?
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
And it's the same 4 below is failure, or 5 below is failure, 6, 9 is
This-
partial, yada yada.
6 and below is failure, I thought.
Hmm.
7,
Yeah.
7, 8.
Yeah, 6 and below. Yeah, you're right.
6 and below is a failure, which you would mark experience for.
I got an 11.
I got a 10.
Okay.
7.
So, hey, just you make it. Just barely. You get there. As you get up to the 4th floor, the clock tower is technically off limits to students, but you've gone in here several times before, and you already know the lock's broken, and you've never bothered to tell anyone that, because who the heck cares? No one else seems to ever go in the clock tower besides you, which is surprising. You'd think it'd be somewhere that a bunch of goofy college students would love to hang out. But you go in, and as you walk in, you start seeing a glint in the air around you. And again, your phones ring.
I'll answer it this time.
I was gonna
Answer.
say Cindy's gonna kind of whap them and be like, "Make sure you get it this time."
All right, as you answer your phones, again, you barely can touch the green button to pick it up, and you don't even get a chance to say anything. Oh, I was worried there for a moment. You were taking a minute. But the portal is about to open. I would suggest transforming into your other forms, as the ride can be a bit bumpy this time of year. And it hangs up. So, how do you commence your transformations into your magical girl forms?
Mine is really stupid.
Go ahead.
Go for it.
Somebody
Yeah.
No
go
such
for it.
thing. It's a magical girl.
Oh my goodness. So like kind of like this like Christmas bells like sound starts swirling around as like this like snowy air starts whipping around her. And she takes out or she manifests from nothing what appears to be a letter in an envelope. And she kisses the letter and holds it close to her heart as she's lifted up in the air and begins to spin. Faint sounds of "Where Are You Christmas" by Celine Dion starts swinging through the air. She's, as she continues her transformation, and she, in one big kind of snowy poof, now has her hair in the very classic Cindy Lou Who lifted up style. She's wearing a more adult version of like kind of the red and the white faux Santa-y type outfit with very tall classic Sailor Scout style boots.
I love it.
I love it too. All right.
I can see it. I love it.
So that you just see just like Livia just basically manifest just basically like that this little that this little stage mic can just be like, all I want for Christmas is you, and then that she basically swirls as just like that this wire out of nowhere just comes with just snowflakes around, and then as that she basically transforms, it is basically like that these thigh-high leather Christmas boots. You know that her clothes slowly just transforms up into like this Santa-like dress and stuff, and then that her freckles go away, and then that her hair gets longer to just sorta like this blonde black ombre, and then that her makeup is all done up and such, and then that that microphone of hers basically just grows bigger up into like a giant ass microphone mace hammer type thing, and then that she basically has just like a Santa hat that just basically has like that basically has the Mariah Carey Christmas album symbol, is basically kind of like does like the Sailor Moon thing on her forehead to kind of like indicate like the Christmas sign, if you will, and then that she just basically just does like a pop star just kind of like pose, and that's it.
All of the retail workers, for some reason in town, cringe simultaneously.
They're like, why? Not her again.
Then again, they probably were cringing since, October. But
True.
Speaking of-
Okay, so Jaclyn puts up their glasses at like that Evangelion meme,
Mhm.
and
Ghetto.
suddenly the room goes black and a biting chill goes through the air as like ominous bass rhythm starts to swell in the room, and they spin around and go into the air and then burst into flame. As they burst into flame,
Damn.
you see like this spooky imagery be illuminated around them until finally the flame gets like blown out, and you see what looks to be the like a similar kind of a mix between Jack Skellington's outfit and Zatanna,
Mhm.
like with kind of like the fancy tuxedo, but it's more feminized, kind of like the striped tuxedo. You see on the face, you swear it's a skeletal face, but for a quick flash, and then it goes back to normal. And then you see just float down as a little Christmas hat lands on their head. And then the room goes back to normal.
I love it, y'all. Well, as you finish your transformations, the shimmer in the air around you brightens, and then a pillar of light bursts forth in the middle of the room. You can hear the bell in the clock tower just swaying slightly from the movement that it causes. And you have been in this portal before, so it's not really freaking you out or anything. It's been a minute. You haven't had to go help out at the headquarters in a while, but it is ready if you are transformed and you are ready to step in.
Steps in.
I will do that as well.
Okay. As you step into the blue light, it is instantly freezing cold, which you expect, but at the same time, for a second, it sort of takes your breath away as you are sucked into this bright blue white light, and you find yourselves just throttling through the air. You can't see anything but yourselves and the light around you, but every once in a while, it's almost like you take too hard of a turn and you crash into an invisible corner. And you're very glad that it was suggested that you transform, because in a civilian form, this might hurt a little bit more. But right now, the worst you're getting is a little bit of a bump. And as you are coming through for about not quite a minute, you know that this is coming to an end. So I need everyone to make me one more physical roll to see how you exit this portal.
I got a 9.
Okay.
I got a 6.
Oh,
I got
mark
it, 11.
experience. All right. Jaclyn and Livia, you both come out of the portal and do a very light landing of the feet. Cindy, you fall on your butt. You don't take any damage, but it's a little bit of oomph, and you fall flat on your butt.
Thankfully, my skirt's really fluffy, so it didn't hurt.
As you come out, go ahead.
Just basically ask like that just ask that the Mary Carey songstress land's just gonna be like, at least they can just try to send us like a red limo next time with just Rudolph driving.
That would be a lot nicer.
Oh, my dears, that would take far too long. And when you came out, you heard a jingling of bells, and now it's faded away, and it's replaced by hustle and bustle. There are small little humanoids with pointy ears running every which way in the room that you have dropped into. You're off to the side where you know that the portal lets out from wherever it's summoned someone from, but you are in the middle of a workshop, and it's massive, going from left to right. You cannot see the actual end of the workshop in either direction. There is machinery, there are tinkers, there are woodworkers, there are infinite number of these little elves working. And you look to see who spoke to you, and you see an older woman, a bit short, white hair pulled up into a bun. She's wearing a white apron over a simple red dress, and she looks rather grandmotherly with her small pair of glasses perched at the end of her nose. But you know who this is. This is the Mrs. Claus. And you have dealt with her before. You are friendly. But it has probably been a good while since you've had to see her. But she approaches you. As nice and more comfortable as a limo would be, I think that's a bit out of the question through the portal. I don't think it would make the journey well. And Rudolph is definitely indisposed this time of year. He's getting all of the reindeer ready for our big run at the end of the month.
Fair.
That is fair.
It is good to see you all. I appreciate you coming at such short notice.
Just anything just to do to get out of my finals.
I am always so intrigued by you young people. You are the pillars of this season, and yet you still like to live as humans at the same time. So strange to me sometimes. But then again,
I
it's been years since I've had to do anything like that.
I brought you this, and I hold up a wreath.
Oh, that's lovely, dear. Thank you so much. And she takes it.
Out of character, it's not. It looks freakish.
Probably just tosses it with just at the other ones that you give her every year.
No, she says, "Oh no, it's lovely. It's a little more round than the last one you gave me, dear. The last one was a bit sharp, but
I'm working on it.
Jingle," and one of the little elves runs up. "Would you please put this in my office for me? Thank you, dear." And it runs off with a little bell on its hat, just bopping, and it's gone in the sea of elves working. Well, we probably shouldn't discuss business out here, so why don't we go into the sitting room and talk? And she will lead you sort of down the side walkway that goes along the workshop. And she'll lead you up a flight of stairs to a second level that overlooks all of the workers. And it's busy. It's not Christmas yet, but you're in that time, and you can see that they are hoofing it, trying to get everything done. But she leads you to a door that strangely looks like it could be made out of gingerbread, the way it's decorated. And but she opens it up and waves her arm and invites you all inside. Do you all go in?
Certainly.
I walk right in.
All right.
I follow, and she's gonna kind of look around. Wow, it's as busy as Whoville on Christmas Eve.
Oh yes, and it'll simply get busier. And it's definitely been a bit of a hectic year.
I mean, yes, it has. I mean, then they had even started playing all of my wonderful music and stuff just basically in at the middle of October, even. I guess that Christmas spirit must be everywhere.
But we hold off until it's a little later in the year, dear. But I know that down on Earth, or the rest of the Earth, I should say, they do like to play your music very early on.
Yes.
But when you walk into the room, it's cozy. There's a fire going in the fireplace. It's decorated very Christmassy. You know that this room is always decorated as if tomorrow is Christmas. There's several big armchairs, some comfy couches. There's a coffee table in the middle, which already has a tray with a pot on it with some cups. And it's dim lighting. It's just very homey and meant to make you feel comfortable. Please have a seat. I've already had hot chocolate brought in.
Cindy's gonna immediately hurry over to one of the big comfy chairs and just settle down in it with a plump. And be like, yes, I would love some hot chocolate, please. I love cocoa.
Just going to just regally just go and just sit and just gingerly sit and start sipping.
Ah, yes, I love this. Love chocolate. Is there pumpkin spice in here? Is that Christmas? Yes, I love it.
Bit late in the
See,
season
this
for
one
that,
is
dear.
dark like your heart.
It's a bit late in the season for pumpkin spice, dear. But how
My
about
heart's not dark.
No, it just likes dark colors.
Oh, true, 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 true.
how about some marshmallows instead? Jangle and another elf, seemingly out of nowhere, comes around and plops big old marshmallow in everybody's mug of cocoa. Well, now that I have you here and we're away from the staff, I do have a bit of a concerning conundrum that's popped up. You'll notice that I was the one to contact and greet you, and not the big man himself. Now, today is the 7th. She starts sort of pacing as she talks. And you all are older now, so it probably didn't come onto your radar, but yesterday is what is known as St. Nicholas Day. You may have celebrated when you were younger or not, but the 5th and 6th are a bit of a trial run for us. You see, on the 5th, Santa's counterpart does his job of going around and checking on the children to see who's been good, who's been bad. He, of course, doesn't have all the power he used to do what he did in the olden days, but he gives them a fright, gives them some coal perhaps, and then on the 6th, after he has gone through, Santa will make his trial run of making sure he can get to where he needs to go, what children he needs to see, and leaving little gifts in their shoes. Well, on that evening on the 5th, his counterpart did indeed do his job as he usually does, with no issue. Went back to his base, and unfortunately, Santa did not make his rounds on the early morning hours of the 6th. I saw him a few hours before he should have left, and he was busying himself with paperwork and getting ready, and I assumed he left when he usually would, but it seems he never made it to any homes that night or that morning, and luckily, parents around the world of children who celebrate were able to compensate and either spin a tale about Santa having been too busy, or St. Nick having been too busy, or having something laying around they could put in a shoe, an orange, some little trinket. But as it is now the 7th, Papa has not yet returned, and I am not sure where he is. And I need your help to find out. Because this is the first time in most people's memory that he has not been there for either St.
It
Nicholas
wasn't
Day.
me.
I know, dear. That's why I have you here.
I just wanted to get that out of the way before anyone said anything.
I was not accusing you, dear. But I do need your help in finding out where he is. So far, I don't think the staff has really caught wind of what's been going on, simply because they're so busy. Now, if we were to be much closer to the big day, I'm sure his absence would be much more noticed, but luckily, we still have some wiggle room. So, I need the three of you to find out what has happened to Santa.
Well, then that's certainly that. Do we know that his route he was going to take?
Yes, I can provide you with with an itinerary of where he normally goes. It's a lot of hopping back and forth because of time zones and all of that, but that's certainly something I can give to you. I normally don't accompany him for his runs, and I haven't many years, but I do know where he's supposed to be.
I think that would work perfectly then. We can start following his trail.
We'll definitely get that for you, and I will also. His office is also yours to look through if you need. You simply need to go 2 doors down. I have it unlocked. There's things charmed that you can't get into if you're not supposed to, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. I'm not worried. So I will let you finish your hot chocolate, and then if you wish to take a look at Santa's office, you may, and I will be down near the portal to help you get wherever you want to go after that.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
So I have a few things to take care of, so I will leave you to your investigation, and I will see you in a bit. And she will leave the sitting room. And you are left by yourselves.
Cindy just outright chugs the rest of the hot chocolate and then slams the glass down. All right, let's go.
Let's do this thing!
Wait,
Wait.
wait, are
Look,
you the overconfident too, out of character?
No, I'm not. I just
Okay.
thought that would be funny.
Look, I just need. Okay, I'm like trying to sip it, but it's a little bit hot. And I'm like, ah, shit.
Hurt yourself.
I mean, that it is rather hot, and then that you just see just that my character just chugs it as well, but just gingerly sets it down.
I'm just gonna carry it with me.
Such
Just
a
gonna.
diva.
I mean,
just-
that who do we think it could be? I mean that the big man's missing, and then that's very bad.
Well, I just. It wasn't me. People look
Well,
at me
of
every
course
time he
that.
goes missing.
What? Was that Artax?
Yeah, they're play fighting. One
Jesus!
second, I gotta get this.
I mean
Just
that.
woof!
I mean that. I guess then that the best course of action would just try to see what that just to see that what was his schedule, and then that we can just hope that it wasn't just at the Christmas in July games that they had to try to contract me once, but you know that I was in Dubai.
Yeah, I think that while we're here, let's go check his office and see if maybe we can find any letters or anything that explain like if he had a change of plan or something. But I agree, then we should head out and maybe start following along the schedule.
Alrighty then,
All
we
right.
can do that.
So you guys leave the sitting room to go to Santa's office?
Yes.
Mhm.
All right. Well, she said it was 2 doors down, but she didn't say which direction. You don't need to know which direction. From coming out the door, you can see to your right a massive, massive door with 2 giant brass handles, a massive wreath around it, garland around the door frame, and it just has in a big sign Santa. You know this is his office.
All
So
right,
no one
sorry
had to
about
tell you.
that. So the dogs play tug of war, but Artax is significantly worse at it and loses. So when he loses enough, he barks because he's mad,
Wow.
and then he just walks away and pouts.
Oh, he's a
and it's
sore
funny.
loser.
Yeah, he is a sore loser, and Jamie wins just about every time because she's just better at it. I guess it's just her center of gravity.
Poor Artax. He's a special, special boy.
Nice special dumb boy.
Special dumb boy. But all right, so you guys, like I said, you guys go outside. You can clearly see that this is the door to Santa's office. And if you go and open the door, it is, as Mrs. Claus said, unlocked.
I go inside and
Yep.
inspect the
Oh.
room.
All right, as you push the door open, again, you hear jingles, and you see on the back of the door that you open, there is what almost looks like a leather belt that is just covered in jingle bells. And it just almost makes a crashing, jingling noise as you open it up.
Wow,
Well, that's a good
cool.
burglar alarm.
It-
Yeah.
That's lots of bells.
And as you walk in, you realize that the second floor of this workshop is very big. This room is too big for the spot it's in.
So it's a TARDIS situation.
It's a TARDIS situation. You could tell that this office is way bigger than it should be. But it needs to be, because it has all along the walls and stretching far off file cabinets. And it just says along the very first one, going down vertically, the list. And it is the naughty nice list for Santa that is stored in all of these filing cabinets. But as you can venture in, there's again the list in the cabinets. There is also a massive mahogany desk that is Santa's work spot. There are various tables and chairs around. There are little workstations. Some things you're not even sure what he was doing. It looks like he might have almost been experimenting with new toys or something like that. And different means of communication. There are phones. There are fax machines, typewriters. You think you see a laptop, but there's no one in here. You're the only ones. So I want everyone who's going to investigate to make a mental roll for me.
Is there a specific move we can argue?
Try and argue.
I'm looking at the. Let's see, glimpse the truth. Yeah, glimpse the truth.
Okay, glimpse the truth.
It's when you investigate a situation of a place, roll plus mental. So it is a mental roll. And on 10 plus, hold 3. On 7-9, hold 1. On a 12 plus, ask a GM a question not on the list.
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys want to use any moves, like the basic moves, just let me know. Go right ahead. You are more than welcome to do that.
But bam! Oh, wow. Okay. I got a 9, so that's a hold 1.
Okay.
Okay, I got because I know my mental is not the greatest. I got a 9 minus 1, so an 8. So I got a hold 1.
All right. Cindy?
I only got a 5.
Oh, that's more experience. All right, so you got an 8, and you got what was it, Jaclyn?
A 9.
A 9. Okay. So you go ahead and both ask your questions, and then I will let you know of any other info that you might need to know with your rolls.
Yeah, it is contextual. So if we ask a question, there's nothing you could say.
Right.
Yeah. What is what here is not what it appears, or what are they trying to hide?
Good question.
And I'm gonna ask, what is the most useful thing?
What is the most useful thing here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're a little poppy.
Oh, sorry.
All right. Let's go through and let's see the most useful thing here. And I'm sorry, what was the one you asked, Jaclyn? Oh, what is not what it appears to be, or what are they trying to hide?
Yeah.
Okay. Most useful thing I was trying to be hidden. Jaclyn, you are looking at Santa's desk, and you are rifling through the papers, and you at first don't think anything useful is there. But you come across towards one of the corners of the desk, underneath a stack of papers, you find an envelope, a manila envelope. And inside you find what look like contracts. Nothing's been signed. It's almost as if they were sent over to be reviewed. And nothing is sinister about them, but what's strange is they're from large businesses around the planet. Tech companies, entertainment companies. Just
Do I get a sense of what the contracts entail? Can I get an idea of what they might be?
It's relatively vague in most of them, and the more you flip through, you're thinking maybe that's on purpose, either
Maybe it.
from one party or the other. The vagueness seems intentional. It's most of them say nothing more than basically a collaboration.
Okay, so it, like vaguely looking for a brand deal, maybe from Santa or Santa's.
Yeah, it's with the wording, even that, it's hard to tell if this is something that Santa has sent out or if the companies sent them to him.
Hmm.
And just the way everything's worded, it's almost like a form letter, and it seems intentional that it, at least its current state, is very vague.
I look at Cindy and say, yeah, there's some contracts from some capitalist pigs over here. You want to look at them?
Oh, well, that's not good at all. Absolutely.
I
She'll
hand the
hurry over and take a
contract.
look.
And what is the most useful here? Let's see. Let's see, Livia, as you look around, you see a big armoire in one of the corners. And there's something sticking out from the bottom of the armoire as if it was closed and something got stuck.
That
Hmm.
she is basically going to gingerly approach this armoire, but she is going to let that the other ones know. Just like Cindy, Jaclyn, take a look at this armoire. Can you like back me up a little bit? And then that she's basically going to have the hammer up in one hand and slowly like open up the armoire at the other at the other hand.
As you open it, it takes a tug because it feels like there's something stuck. But you open it and you scan around and you see it's mostly Santa's clothes, his big coats, uh, probably what he rides out in the sleigh, a couple of extra magical bags. But when you look down at where you saw something strange in the door, it's another a hat of his, but it looks a little different than the rest. It's a bit faded, a little creased. It's older, a lot older than all of the other hats he has hanging up in this armoire. Do you pick it up?
I I pick it up.
Okay. As you're looking at this hat, it really doesn't seem all that special. It doesn't look like it's magical. It doesn't have anything to it. It almost looks threadbare. But you do look inside the brim of it on the inside, and there is a little tag with an inscription. A little metal tag, one that wouldn't bother the wearer that much. And it
Mm-hmm.
says, very simply, to Papa from Mama, our, our first Christmas. Good luck. And that's all. There's no year, no date. That's all it says. Do you put the hat back, or are you going to keep a hold of it?
I'm going to keep a hold of.
Okay. So we will say that you now have one faded Santa hat as an item for the moment. Do you guys want to do any more looking around in the room? Do any more investigating?
Uh, if I can, I'll do another glimpse of the truth and see if I can find anything.
Okay.
Going off the back of the contract, I'm going to see if there's any other like suspicious things lying around.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a glimpse.
Oh my god.
What'd you roll?
I got 11.
That is.
That's hold 3 on me.
Damn. Okay. So go ahead and ask your 3.
What happened here recently?
looking around, Santa's desk is a bit of a mess. It looks like, he's usually pretty organized, but it doesn't look like there was any kind of struggle or anything like that. It just looks like Santa might have not been as meticulous as he usually is.
Might have been in a hurry,
Might have been in a
maybe.
hurry.
What new and useful information can I gather?
From your spot at the desk, you look up, and around the wall near the ceiling are a series of what start as paintings. Whoops. They start as paintings and eventually become photographs. And what these pictures are of Santa and a massive black goat-headed creature who you all know is Santa's counterpart, the Krampus. They're not enemies, they're not friends, but they are opposite sides of the same coin. And you notice early on, when they're still paintings, Santa is always his jolly self with his big, blah, blah, blah. I was trying to think of a nursery rhyme and I messed up. His big jolly belly, his rosy cheeks, looks like he's always laughing. And Krampus starts out scary, tongue lolling out, looking like he's going to eat a child. Scary.
Very dichotomy, very contrasted right there.
Yes. And as the years go on, Santa mostly remains the same. He actually started out with a green jacket early on. First was red, he went to green, and then eventually, around the years when that Coca-Cola started using him in their campaign ads, he again went back to a bright red coat, and it's been that way ever since. Santa has not changed much in any of these pictures. Some years he's a little skinnier, some years he might look a little more tired. The last year he looked about as jolly as usual, maybe a little less of the cheerfulness, but nothing concerning. But you notice that Krampus, as the years go by, becomes less and less terrifying. He's still scary, of course. He's a massive goat monster for all, anyone really knows. But he doesn't look as, as fierce. He almost begins to look complacent or even tired. And you've not really had any dealings with Krampus. Most people don't. About the only people that really deal with Krampus are Santa and Mrs. Claus and his own underlings, whom you really don't know much about either.
Poor Krampus. Someone might be cramping his style.
It could be that he's mellowed out over the years, or something started bothering him, or it could very well be that the old paintings just made him as scary as possible to freak out the kiddies.
Before I ask my third question, I forgot to say, on a 6 or below for Glimpse of the Truth, one of the things you do get is you uncover a dark truth about yourself, the situation, or another character. So if you want to do that for Cindy.
Oh, I missed that. I've only run this game one time, and it was like 4 years ago.
No, it's fine. I mean,
it's fine.
You miss things sometimes.
A dark truth.
Like, I didn't even see it until just now, until I was reading.
Cindy, since you had got a 6 or lower, as they're looking around, discovering things, you are distracted because you once again have your eyes shift over to the list. And you remember someone you dealt with in the past. Certain green-skinned person.
Do I get to go check?
If you would like to go and try and check, you may try.
She's gonna be nosy and try to look.
Okay, I need you to make me. Let's say mystical.
Okay. That's an 8.
It's an 8. All right, that's a mixed success. You going up to these filing cabinets, you know they're charmed. No one's supposed to look at this besides Santa. But you do think maybe since you've been so good, maybe the list will make an exception if you ask for just one name. And you know that the cabinets are more of a for show. So if you want to reach out and touch them to see if you can find out about one name, you can try.
She'll reach out thinking the name and hoping that it'll be able to pull it up for her.
You touch the nearest cabinet, and in your mind, it's almost like words and lights and numbers and bells scrambling in your brain. And you're not sure if it's actually listening to you or trying to scramble the answer. And then finally, just one word pops up. Unknown.
Okay.
So you didn't know that could be an answer. But you can discern that maybe they have not been able to be sorted onto the list for some reason or another, which is very odd.
Weird, but good to know, I guess.
So you can keep that in your back pocket.
Cool. Thank you.
But so you have discovered these contracts. You have found an old hat. You have seen some old paintings of Santa and his partner, the Krampus.
Hmm.
Is there anything else you want to look at?
I have one more question.
Oh. Yeah. Dark. Go ahead.
Who is in control here?
Santa.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's me. That's me right there.
Going to walk over to Cindy and then Jaclyn. Going to be like, okay, I have found this. And then as she's going to present that the old Santa hat, it was poking out of the armoire. It is just older than all of his much more luxurious coats and boots and stuff. But I know that this is a little bit of a memento in a sense. But it just says from Mama to Papa. So that this could be very useful to us.
I think that might be worth holding on to. We never know if maybe it'll help us lead us to him in some way or something.
Huh.
It's at
What do you
least
think,
something.
Jaclyn?
I don't know. I have a feeling the Krampus is involved.
I mean, does that like Jaclyn point out the painting?
Yeah, I point out the paintings. I mean, look at him
I mean,
here. Beautiful and resplendent. And I show like the most scary version of him. And then over here, he just seems sad.
Oh my, that quite
Poor
terrifying.
guy.
I can see why children don't want to get cold these days.
Jaclyn, as you're pointing up at the paintings and pictures, you think you see something move. Just behind the corner of one of the bigger frames, you think you just see a shadow just psst, and it's gone.
I leap up to it.
You leap. Well, you are a magical girl, and magical girls can suddenly leap great distances, so.
Exactly.
I'm not even going to make you make a physical roll because you're magic, so I'm going to say you can jump up there if you want to. You get up there. You kind of have to balance yourself between two of the paintings. It was somewhere around the middle, right before they start turning into photographs. You look around.
Okay.
You don't think there's anything there.
I'm going to be vigilant. Roll mental.
All right.
I don't think this is going to turn out well for me, but it doesn't. I got a 4.
Oh.
So yeah, nothing happens, but yeah, I do mark
Yeah,
experience.
you do mark experience.
1. So I'm just looking around like I saw something over here.
Cindy, you feel something brush past your ankle.
In the world, she's gonna like jump away and look down.
You don't see anything, but there is a table nearby, and it looks like the very bottom of its tablecloth is flapping as if something just ran through.
I think there's something in here with us, so she's gonna go and peek under the tablecloth.
You lift it up, and there's nothing there. Then all of a sudden, you all hear a smack. As you look around, you see that one of the books on one of his many bookshelves has fallen over. And you can tell which book it was because of the poof of dust that's still kind of settling. Do you go over and see the book?
Yeah, go see what book it is.
As you approach, it's a massive tome. It doesn't have a name or anything on it. It's just a very big book. But from underneath it, you see what you think is a tiny little arm with a red and white sleeve. Do you move the book?
Yes.
You pick up the book, and it's heavy. Again, it looks like it might just be one of Santa's journals that he's scribbled in. The book doesn't look like it's anything that important. When you lift it up, you look on the shelf, and you see what you think is a doll. It has kind of long limbs, a pointy red hat, a little red jumpsuit, white trim, and it looks like the book fell and crushed it. It is a bit worse for the wear. So its face looks a bit mangled. But it's
Heard of these things before, or at least I feel like I have.
A fay on a tray, they say.
as you're looking
Elf
at
on the
this
shelf.
as you're looking at this crushed doll, you hear a scuttle above you.
Immediately try to find where that went.
You look up, and as you look up at this bookshelf that you realize now reaches to the ceiling, little white and red hats are popping out in just little different spaces along the bookshelf. And finally, one of them leans over enough for you to see its face over the edge of the bookshelf. And you realize you do recognize these. They were actually created by regular humans, but about, not quite 2 decades ago, Santa decided to start using them as helpers to sort of streamline to find out if kids were being good or not. And you realize these little elves sitting on the shelves don't look quite right. There's something about their face that looks a little twisted. They're smiling, but the smile's a little too toothy. They're smiling, but their eyebrows are pointed down just a little too much. And it's
I'm going to do a move. May I do a move?
You may do a move.
I'm going to do we can do this together.
Okay.
I've got your back to Cindy. Okay, let me roll that real quick. Okay, that's Well, it's not. Well, it's a.
What did you roll?
I got a 7.
Okay, that's a
So
mixed
that
success. So
she gets
it's a +1 to their
plus.
next roll, but you have a -1 to your next persona roll.
Yeah.
Oh, that's competitive. This is cooperative. So
No. Yeah, we are competitive.
Okay.
That's how we friend the relationship, I believe.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So you have a -1 next time you do a persona roll, and Cindy has a +1 to her next roll.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So you see these little elves staring down at you, and they don't make noise, but the way their shoulders are moving, you can tell they're giggling at you.
I definitely hate everything about this. This is freaking me out.
What do you
Just
do?
going to look up and just going to be like, well, what do you think that is so funny? That the big man's missing and then that y'all are rummaging around in his office.
Oh, I think they have a nefarious purpose, but they are kind of cute.
In a
Very
freaky way.
different ideas of cute.
Just kind of just give just at the anime side eye, just like with just at the teardrop, like, good grief.
Let's see. So you guys see them on the shelf. What are you going to do? Are you going to make a break for the door? Are you going to try and get them down? What are you going to do?
I'm going to jump close to Cindy. This is part of my we can do this together. And you see my hand transform into like a bony hand and get a little bit bigger. It's like, I don't think these have good intentions. But again, I think they're really cute. Can we keep one? Maybe
She
if
just
we can
hands
do
him the
it.
crushed one from under the book. Here you go.
I put that in my backpack.
Okay, as you guys are talking, these things are, again, they don't make noise, but you can tell they're getting restless.
I think we should maybe
I am-
try to retreat, maybe?
I am going to basically just start just singing like all I want for Christmas is you, using basically my move all eyes on me, and just gonna be like dancing around, and then just basically like glancing back at the other two of just like I am being the distraction. Y'all leave and go get somebody.
Is
So I
that
am
what
gonna
it
try the
does?
base.
Is it that moves a distraction?
Let me actually read it.
Yeah.
Let me
Because
see. It says
it's
that
hard
you
for me to scroll
demand
through.
attention. Yeah. It just basically says that you demand attention from your target with your grand presence through charm, fear, or any number of ways. Make a convince someone roll with persona. Enthralled targets have no restrictions on what they would do. So I need to roll a convince someone.
Okay. Go ahead and make that roll.
Okay, I made a 9.
Okay. So you convince someone. Okay, they'll do it, but only if you can reassure them through action or protect them somehow. Let's just say if you are putting on a real good show, you're going to distract them for the moment. You don't know how long this is going to last.
Okay.
They might be more confused than anything that you've started suddenly singing at them.
And keeper and keeper, just for clarification, then that is that you know that makes sense is for a normal person, but for like monsters or adversaries, it says that they would do it, but only if you promise them something equal in return. So I didn't know if I didn't that had applied because then that they are technically monsters
They
instead of
are,
normal.
but you do know that they don't seem to speak. So
Okay.
we're going to forego that because it's a communication issue. So we're just going to go
Okay.
with you have mixed success on trying to distract them and paying attention to
Gotcha.
you. So again, you don't know how long it's going to last. So
Right. And then that, just during just like mid chorus that Liv is gonna be like, just get out of here. I will come follow suit.
I mean, where are we going? I mean,
Like out in the hall away. just
let's
We
back
can shut
out.
the
Back
door
out.
behind us.
I guess I just like nudge Cindy back a bit as I like scooch back.
Cindy's just gonna keep backing
Alright.
up, but she's keeping an eye on oh my god, I just blinked on the name.
Liv.
On Liv, thank you. Because I know who your character's supposed to be, so I keep wanting to call you by like your persona's name or like
I
the
mean that you
person
can
you
do it by the persona's name. It doesn't matter.
I'll stick with Liv. It's fine.
I don't want to get sued by her.
Same.
Um,
Same.
So, as you are going, are you guys just turning and going, or are you walking backwards, keeping an eye out?
That one.
Okay,
the
if you're walking backwards, I need you both to make a physical roll.
No. Does this get that +1 that
If
Jackie gave me? Okay.
yes,
I got a 9.
I got a 10.
hey, okay. So
Nice.
Yay! Thank you.
you guys success as you're walking backwards. They're still watching Livia, but they're very aware that you're heading for the door. But they're weirded out by this person singing at them. So they're not doing anything, but you do make it to the door.
Cindy's gonna call out. All right, time to run.
And then that on just like that, the antithesis of just like that, the final you, then that Liv is basically just going to try to do like a run, just kind of like a Dark Souls roll towards the door, run away.
Okay, you guys have the
Roll,
door
dodge,
open.
roll, hurry, dodge, roll.
Do you guys have the door
Yeah,
open
dodge.
for Liv?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, we shut it. We shut her in there and left.
Like, yeah, bam. Just
So you, Liv, you make it to the door, and she does her Dark Souls roll out. And I'm assuming you guys slam the door?
Pretty much,
Yes.
As you're slamming it, you see these things are coming flying off the shelf towards you. And the door
Yeesh.
slams shut. And nothing. Then right in the middle of the door, you see a tiny little hand start to slither its way out.
yeah. All
Oh,
right,
no.
now I say we keep going.
We need.
Are you guys
keep
gonna keep going? Are you guys gonna where are you heading? Are you heading downstairs? Where are you going?
We need to get Mrs. Claus immediately.
Okay,
wait a minute. I think we can handle this.
As
There's a lot of
Oh.
them.
there's a shoulder coming out. There are several
There's
more
a lot of
hands.
'em.
There's a foot. There's the
We
beginning
need
of a
I'm
hat.
going to clash
Okay.
at one of them at the door to try and stop them in their track, like the ones coming through in their track.
Okay.
And I get a +1 to that because I have fight or flight as a move, which gives me a +1 to my clash roll. That is a 10.
Okay. So you choose an extra effect.
You both do damage to each other. You do damage equal to the weapon damage or your physical rating in hand. Okay, in hand-to-hand combat. Okay, so
So what is it that you do?
so
Let's say the very first one's head and most of its shoulders are now coming out of the door, and it comes out flat, and then it kind of pops back out into like fluffy doll mode.
So I do 2 damage to that,
It explodes.
and like so my hand extends outward, like a little bony skeletal hand extends outward and just like stabs it with the skeleton fingies. And I'm going to
explodes.
force them where I want, which
Okay.
is forcing the door even more closed and causing congestion where they're trying to get out.
Okay,
So-
you do see that they're kind of smushed in a little bit, and there's like extra wriggling, but they're still trying to get out of the cracks in the door.
Oh yeah, I'm just trying to slow them down a bit.
And when you do this, the door kind of goes boom, and from the first floor you hear, "Hey, what's going on up there? Who's messing
Oh,
with Santa's
nothing.
office?" And you can tell it's an elf yelling, but you don't know who.
Uh, uh, there's elves here. Elf dolls.
Of course, there's
They're
elves here.
no, different elves. Different elves.
We're talking about the creepy ones that sit on the shelves and watch the kids. It's
What?
not cool.
As you
The
say
voyeur
that,
elves.
one pops up from over top of the door, and instead of falling on you, it's still partially flattened and almost sails over you like a paper airplane. And if you turn to look over, it's going down towards the workshop. And the elf that was
Oh.
yelling up at you is like, "What the heck? Uh-oh. Little one's got out, boys!" And picks up a hammer. What? Smacks it midair and explodes. You're realizing that there's a lot of these things. They might not be super tough, but there's a lot of them. I think someone needs to get the missus. You hear them yell from down below.
Would go immediately, just start calling out, Mrs. Claus, we have a situation.
More of these things are starting to come out of the door. They're coming out from the
Start-
bottom, the top, the side. They're just squeezing through.
Starting to run to try to go find Mrs. Claus immediately.
You reach the top of
Okay.
the stairs, and she meets you there. What is going on?
That elves on the shelves and Santa's up in just Santa's office.
The elf.
Office, then it
She looks
that
around
they
you.
look.
She looks around you. Oh my goodness! And she kind of pushes past and goes up. She's like, "Now what are you all doing? You shouldn't be this naughty. You're supposed to keep the children from being naughty." They don't
I
seem-
take another swipe at them with Clash.
She jumps, but she doesn't stop you.
Okay. Oh, that's 12. Holy shit.
Damn.
Damn.
Well, I have an ability called I've got the upper hand. So when I attack the same target, I get a +1 to my Clash.
Okay. What are you choosing as your enhanced effect?
I suffer no damage.
Okay. Then you suffer no damage.
So
and
I
make one
do
explode.
2. So I'm just like slapping them as they're coming out. It's like, there's quite a bit of them. I don't think I can hold them off very long.
Oh goodness. I'm really not supposed to touch Papa's door, but she reaches up her hand and takes a finger and swipes it down the door, and it glows bright blue for a sec, and then it almost looks like a shield pops up around it. And a couple of them are sliced in half that were coming out of the door. The rest wriggle back in. And it seems like Santa's office is cut off for the moment. She bends down and picks up one of the ones that were sliced in half to look at it. Well, these are the elves on the shelves, but there's something wrong with them. They shouldn't look this mean. Not everyone likes them, but they're not malevolent. They simply act as extra eyes for Santa to make sure the children are behaving.
Well, these were being extra creepy.
And she sort of picks at it, and the red on its clothing starts to sort of brush away, as if the red had been put back on them. And their little red jumpsuit is black. Oh my. How strange. I've never seen this before. I'm not really sure what happened to them. This might cause a recall. Kringle! The elf that was shouting up at you runs up, and he has a name tag that says Foreman on it. Kringle, will you please take this to one of the research labs and see if they can find out what's happening? Yes, ma'am. He takes it from her and he runs off. Well, this certainly is strange.
That
I've
Leah
never-
will kind of speak up, and just like that, we were just able to find some things that I would let Jaclyn go first, but I did find this up in the armoire, and then as she just basically just shows Mrs. Claus that the very kind of faded Christmas hat that says from like Mama to Papa.
Oh, And she has a very nostalgic look on her face. She takes from you for a moment. I gave this to Papa the night of his first run. His very first time going out to deliver gifts. His very first suit was also this color, you see. A lot of people think he had green first, but I made his very first outfit. Unfortunately, I didn't think about the fact he'd be going down so many chimneys, and the coat didn't last long, but he kept the hat. I didn't know he still had it in there. Why don't you hold on to this, and whenever you find him, just let him have it back. I think whatever he's been
Yes,
through,
ma'am.
it might improve his mood.
Yes, ma'am.
And is there anything else that you might have found that could lead you to where he might be?
Going to kind of bump on Jaclyn and Cindy and like, come on. I mean,
I think Jaclyn had to step away for a second.
oh, gotcha.
I didn't realize.
I didn't realize either.
No, it's fine. I think they're
Back.
using the. Oh, there we go. Never mind.
There we go. I
Oh.
didn't.
My bad.
We didn't realize you'd stepped away.
Just had to just go off and kill like another elf on the shelf. Don't worry about it.
Just getting rid of them, you know.
Did you want to mention to Mrs. Claus anything you found out?
Yeah, I'll ask about the weird contracts. Like, not trying to pry on y'all's business, but this is weird.
Well, I
Could
don't
this happen?
handle much of the business, and I leave a lot of that to Santa. I mostly oversee a lot of the workshop and the smaller details. I'm really not sure all of who he was speaking to at the moment. We've done some work with larger companies before, but I'm not really sure what the contracts are about. But if I do have his last route up, if you would like to be on your way to try and find him.
Okay, that's fine. How's the relationship with the Krampus? It seems like he's kind of.
With Krampus, the same as it's always been, I assume. They don't talk much, other than to iron out details of when things are happening, and as you know, Krampus is the one who helps him find out who the naughty children are. Luckily, less naughty children than there used to be, and of course they had to have a talk a few centuries ago about
Less
the
lead in the air.
the harshness of his methods, which has not been a problem in a long time. I think sometimes Krampus mixes the old days of when he could really terrify little children, but I think it's for the best at this point that we don't do that.
Hmm.
But as far as I know, they've not quarreled or anything like that. But I don't really speak to him for the most part. We've had some greetings in passing. That's about it. It's not so much that they're friends, so much as they must work together.
Well, in that case, I guess we can just go on the route and see if we find anything. Maybe we'll find something.
All right. Well, if you want to, we will go back down to the portal, and I will send you on your way.
Alrighty then. Thank you. And then whenever those lab results come back, will you please give it to us?
Oh, yes, of course. I'll let you know if we find out anything. But follow me. And she leads you back down to where you came out of the portal. Now, if you'll stand on the disc, I've programmed in Santa's last route that he should have taken on St. Nicholas Day. I've marked off a few what should be the hot spots where he may have run into trouble. I don't know. I really don't know where he could have gone, but we'll see where this takes you and what you can find. So there is a pedestal in front of her, and she's moving her fingers around as if she's typing and swiping. Be careful, you three. I will let you know if we find anything out here. And then she hits a button, and again, you're sucked up into this bright blue-white light. And it's not as rough as before. You're not sure if it's because you're traveling from a much more desolate area of the world, but you feel sharp turns every once in a while. After about a minute, you feel like you should be getting somewhere. But it's almost like something's tugging at you from the left. And you're slowing down just slightly. And then all of a sudden, it's like something grabbed you around the waist and you get tugged into that invisible wall that you felt like you were slamming into earlier. And then it happens again. And then finally
Okay.
there's one more tug, and it's almost like you get yanked straight out of the portal that is transporting you. And you find yourselves falling through the air, and I need everyone to make a physical roll. Or if you have anything that can help you at this point, as you are falling towards what looks like snow-packed ground.
I got a 10.
Okay.
I got a 8.
Okay. Cindy?
Not good.
Not good.
I got a 1.
Oh, she got
Oh no.
she got the like Charlie Brown. I got a rock shit.
I got a rock. Hmm. Okay.
Trying to see if I've got anything that can help me at all, but I don't think I do.
Is there anything that you two want to try to do to help Cindy? Because you come through, and you two kind of steady yourselves in midair. You're falling, but you have your wits about you. You're not tumbling. You can see which way is up, which way is down. You just know that you're in a very snowy landscape. And because you kind of know where you are and have your bearings, you'll be able to land without much trouble. But you see Cindy, she comes shooting past both of you as if whatever grabbed her and you is still lashed on, and she goes zipping past. And you can see that she is tumbling.
Can I try to help her
Yes.
in some way? Let me see.
Yes, same.
Okay, so I'll consider both of you trying to help. So let's go.
Okay.
Let's see. There is. Is it called?
I can try.
You guys do have your power pool.
I don't think we. How do we gain power again? We just.
I
We
believe
had to do
I believe you begin with power. Oh, no, I'm
Let me
forgetting.
see real quick. Okay, that's behind the 8 ball. Every magical hero. Okay, at the start of the session, it starts at 0. As you play the game, you will gain power whenever you get below half health. You gain 1 point in power pool. These points can be okay. So we have to go half health.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My bad.
So I was gonna be like that if going to basically like look at Jaclyn with just that annoying nod, and then that out of character. That do you want to go more emotional or physical, or that the teamwork action?
We can do this together. I would rather go either I've got your back or supernatural intervention. Those are my 2 highest skills. My emotional is -1. So
Okay, then that I would say then that my mystical is my mystical is a 1, so then that we can do supernatural intervention to see what that get us.
okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
we can do this together. The character that you are aiding gains 1 power point always. So Cindy, you have 1 power point after getting aided by Jaclyn earlier.
I did not realize that.
I
Is
did
that
not
something
either.
that can help get me out of this situation?
Could.
You can spend 1 to gain a +1 on a roll. That wouldn't have helped you.
No, that wouldn't have helped me at all.
So
I literally rolled a 2 and have a -1, so
Yeah.
I actually got a 1.
okay, so I'm going to jump towards Cindy with Liv
Yeah.
doing
I am going
some
to be singing. Hopefully, then that some musical Christmas notes can basically buffer the cat like a net.
and I'm going to try and like reach out to try and grab her or give her something to grab onto. So
Okay.
supernatural intervention, that's plus mystical.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm rolling good. Plus 10.
Okay.
You
Okay.
Okay.
both can't have +1 forward. So I have
Okay.
one and you have one, Cindy.
So what I did is I had did that as well, and then I had got an 8. So I give Cindy that a +1 to their next roll, but I put myself in danger.
Okay.
Now, in order to use those, do I need to do thwart peril, maybe?
Yeah, I think thwart peril is what you're.
Because it's resisting immediate physical danger, and I imagine I am in immediate physical danger.
Definitely.
Yes.
So you
Yes.
have +2 to your thwart peril roll at this point.
Okay. So go ahead and if you want to thwart. I hate that word.
Thwart.
Thwart peril. Go ahead and roll.
I got a
Thwart
10. I got a
Okay,
10.
you are a
I got
10,
a
so
10.
you
Ah.
did what you set out to do.
Yay, which is land without massively injuring myself or breaking my spine.
So
The
you
little skeletal hand under you is helping you.
Yeah, so you go zipping by. Jaclyn is able to reach out using the hand, being assisted by Livia, and they are able to help you steady you enough so that you are able to land without great physical pain. And then the two of you
Thank
are then
goodness.
able to land next to her.
Do I still take some damage?
Go ahead. Yeah, well, you set out what you wanted to do, so I would say take 1 just because you came flying out of there a whole lot faster than the other two. So you
Yeah.
landed, but you kind of landed with your knee kind of cocked funny. You don't quite make the
Yeah.
whole Sailor Moon, I'm going to land on my knee and with one knee up and I'm fine. It's kind of like that knee slammed in a little too hard.
Ooh. I did that in real life the other day, and it was not fun.
I don't think I could get up off the floor if I did that.
I did it while getting up off the floor.
All right, so you guys land, and you are in a very snowy landscape, and you realize looking around, you don't think you've actually left the North Pole at all. You traveled a bit, but you definitely got yanked off course. And as you look around, you can see in the distance something moving towards you. And it looks like a sleigh. Are you going to see who's coming towards you, or are you going to do something else?
Let's see here.
Trying to see if there's a move or something to help figure out what it is. Maybe be vigilant?
Yeah, I was going to be vigilant as well.
Okay.
Yeah, same.
No, wait. What is my what is this vigilant?
Plus mental.
Mental.
Okay, I get hold 1. I got a 7.
Okay.
I got an 8.
Okay.
I got a 10.
Okay, so 2 hold 1s and a hold 3.
No wait. Let me double check my stat. No, I'm sorry. I had got an 8, so I got a
Okay,
hold.
so you each get 1 question.
Okay.
All right. Cindy, why don't you go ahead first?
Any dangers that I haven't noticed?
You're not sure if what's coming up on you is a danger or not.
That gives me no comfort whatsoever.
It's not meant to.
is the best way to protect the area or the victims here?
You are the possible victim, so it would be to get to the portal if you could.
What seems to be the monster's weakness?
Not the cold.
Oh no.
A monkey's paw answer right there.
I learned from Hewitt.
You have learned well.
I just heard
Okay.
him say, "Oh shit," from the other room.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay. So
So as this thing, at first it looked like it wasn't moving very quickly, but now that you've noticed it, it's coming up fast. And as it's getting closer, you realize it is indeed a sleigh. It's not Santa's sleigh. It looks more like a sleigh that was put together with boxes and rope. It's not in good shape, but it's holding together somehow as it's being rocketed through this landscape by two massive hairy monsters. You never
So that
see.
they had just.
Go
So
ahead.
then that they had just like little rascal to slay together.
Yeah, pretty much. It looks like a little, almost like a little rascal together a sleigh. It's big, but it's janky, and it's rattling, and it looks like it's gonna come apart, but it doesn't. It's all just sharp edges and looks like scraps of wood. And as it's pulled up, it's pulling up on you. And just when you think these things might try and run you over, something behind them pulls on them and they stop. And from behind them, from in the sleigh, a hooded figure jumps out. Looks like the figure is bent over, has a cane. Their cloak is tattered and worn. You can't see their face just yet, but they walk around and stand in front of the creatures that were pulling the sleigh. Well, looks like some people are putting their noses where they don't belong.
we
And then
could
that
say the
some
same.
people are trying to basically ruin the spirit of Christmas.
Oh, you have things so backwards. Little children should not get involved in adult business. And
Little children, I have you know that I am 18. Thank you very much.
oh, come off the human thing. I know what you all are. The figure stands up a little straighter, and the hood comes back just enough. And it's an old woman. And there's something a little bit monstrous about her face. It's not quite right. It's very wrinkled. Her nose is very hooked and crooked. She has
Oh
a
no.
lot of teeth.
Oh
And
no.
like even one of her feet is sort of weirdly shaped and cocked off to the side.
Oh,
And you all
hopefully this
being
isn't a Baba Yaga situation.
all of you being what you are and being these creatures of Christmas know who this is, even though you've not met her before. This is Frau Perchta. This is the helper and female equivalent of the Krampus. And if anything, she's scarier. She's also been known as the belly slitter and having harsher punishments on children who did not do their work over the course of the year or were lazy than the Krampus did on children who were simply naughty. You know that she's kind of chilled out in the last couple centuries, kind of like Krampus, but she doesn't
Still not
look
to be
friendly.
trifled with.
No, not at all. And you realize something had to pull you out of the portal, and you probably are looking at it.
Well, madam, we are here looking for the great Santa Claus, who I did not steal this time.
Great. So you're looking for the old man. Why am I not surprised?
Would you happen to have anything to do with it?
To do with it? No. I wish. The old man and I have never exactly been friendly. The Krampus and I get along. I wouldn't call us friends, but I get along. And I do technically work for him. The old man, I can't say he and I have an agreement on methods. Now,
Understandable. You know, everyone's different. Everyone has their own methods.
I'm sure his little lady sent you out to find him. But I would suggest you go home. Do whatever it is you do along the humans. And leave the more important details to the more important people.
Okay, for one, my music is very important to me, but also two, you're being very suspicious. Just
Am
pointing that out.
I?
Yeah, yeah. I know suspicious. And this is suspicious.
Like
I
to,
adjust my hat.
Whatever.
can I attempt to touch their heart?
Okay.
She's gonna look at them and go, but don't you know, Baba, that we've been summoned here just to help out of the goodness of our hearts, and if you would just help us do our job, then everything would be so much better. And let me roll. Sorry, I have a ability for this. I'm just trying to make sure I'm reading it right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I need to brush up on one of my abilities because I keep forgetting about it.
I thought I screenshot something that I didn't. Oh, good. I'm right there.
Okay, yeah, it is a +2. So that's a 9.
Okay, and remind me what it does when you do that.
So when you try to redeem a villain. Oh wait, hang on. Did I add my emotional too? I don't think I added my emotional. I did not. So that's actually a 11.
Okay.
But that is on a 10 plus team members gain +2 ongoing against the target. This ends if the target takes damage. But we now have a competitive relationship towards the target. So we have the beginnings of a positive relationship.
And what was it you said to her?
Just that we're trying to help out of the goodness of our hearts, and if she could just see that and work with us, then everything would go so much better for everybody involved, including her.
The goodness of your hearts. Old man used to say that all the time. Honestly, I don't really have a bone to pick with anybody at this point. But you don't know why Santa's doesn't make it for St. Nicholas Day yet, do you?
And maybe that's something you could help us know.
Oh, that's not my story to tell. I don't want to give out info that isn't mine to share. I don't want to embarrass anybody.
Well, could you point us in the right direction of whom to talk to?
Roll me. Let's see. Roll me a persuade someone, or what was it? Is it persuade or control?
Convince someone?
Convince. Let's.
Yeah.
Roll me a convince someone.
All right. That's a 9.
They'll do it, but only if you can reassure them through action or protect them somehow. So.
We also have if they're a monster or an adversary, they'll do it, but if we promise them something equal in return?
Yeah. So you want me to let you get past me when I was meant to stop you from getting in the way. What will you do for me in return?
We'll do the work for you. You won't have to worry about this anymore. We'll go figure out what's going on. We'll take care of everything with Santa Claus, and you just get to wipe your hands of it and be finished.
Oh no, I think this is fun. I don't need to be finished with this. I want to know what happens.
I have a bad feeling about this. It's a move I'm going to use.
Okay.
I
You're more.
before you do that, Liv is gonna chime in and say like, well, that you know that if that you let us buy that, I will make a whole album dedicated to you.
I'm more of a
And
classic rock fan.
I can make that be
I
arranged.
like
I have
Nickelback,
pull.
okay?
I will slit you in half.
I love me some Creed.
Fuck you.
One Last Step is on repeat in my house.
Oh my
Or
god.
One Last Breath, whatever it is.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
I definitely never owned a Creed album when I was in high school. Fuck you.
I've got a bad feeling about this. You're more attuned with the dark parts of the world. When something bad is happening, you can roll plus mystical. On a 10 plus, you know that what you know this was coming. You knew this was coming and arrived in time to stop it. Okay, I don't know if this is actually on 7 and 9. You get there just after the event started.
Read it out for me again.
You're more attuned to the dark parts of the world. When something bad is happening, roll plus mystical. On a 10 plus, you knew this was coming and arrived just in time to stop it. But I don't think this I misread the ability, so I don't think it
Yeah, I
actually
don't think that really
applies.
applies to what's happening in this moment.
I thought
Yeah,
it was more of a predictive thing, like I could
Yeah.
predict to see what's coming. But no, I would have had to roll this before we even left.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't quite fit into what's happening right now. So you want me to let you buy, and you'll give me something in return.
a Creed album, yes.
No.
Someone made some really creepy and weird wreaths that they could give you one.
They're not
Jackie did.
creepy, and I pull one out.
It's very nice, but still not quite equal to what's happening.
Look, it's got a little mouth
How about
skull.
this?
Hello,
How
I'm
about,
a mouse.
how about this? When I go do my job, I have some helpers, the Perchton. They dress up scary, bit like Krampus, mini Krampuses, and they help me out, making sure all the children are being good and doing what they're supposed to do all year. They help me dole out punishment when they are not. Of course, I can't sew in pebbles and straw where their innards were like I could when I was younger. Santa made sure we couldn't do the fun things anymore. But I could always use more help. Next year, the three of you have to help me on my job.
That's cool. I like doing stuff like this.
She looks at
I
Livia.
think we can make
and
that
Cindy.
work.
Excellent. I'll start working on your
Yes.
masks.
Ooh, we get
Um,
masks.
I mean that.
Can mine be like a
No.
pumpkin-like thing?
No.
Oh,
Yes, dearie. She looks at Livia.
Gonna be. Yeah, I can do it. I mean that I already torture the rest of the world. But according to some that just doesn't love my music in October, whenever then that Earth is already getting ready for Christmas.
Right. Well, I might need to ask for forgiveness from this one from old Crumpy, but it's a deal. So in that case, she points with a very knobbly, gnarled hand, and she points out to the west. Head that way for about a mile, and you'll see a cave. Old Crumpy's in there with the old man. I think you'll be very interested to see what they're discussing. And then she kind of gives a very raspy, creepy giggle and goes to get back into her sleigh.
huh.
Then again, you give me one of those wreaths and I'll give you a ride.
I'm glad someone appreciates them when I hand her one.
She takes it and she puts it over the horn of one of the creatures pulling her sleigh. There, Floofy, you look
So
so
much more
handsome.
So much more beautiful.
All
They
right,
were always beautiful, though.
all right, kitties, load up. Watch out, there's some
Well-
rusty knives in the back there. Are you guys gonna get in the sleigh with Jaclyn?
I gingerly get into
I knew Jaclyn was getting in.
the
Yeah, Cindy will
Uncomfortably
get in
just
too.
get in and just like just look at the decorum and just like
It doesn't look any better than it does from the outside.
I
You're sitting on a
slight-
box that's nailed down. That's your seat. You're sitting on a box.
I kind of have my hands under my butt because I'm not exactly wearing like the most protective thing.
Let's just say you guys like are spirits of Christmas. You're really not bothered by the cold.
we're not.
But I could be bothered by nails.
True.
You never know.
True.
I mean,
you,
they
you don't know
could
the
be
last time you had a
9-inch
tetanus
nails.
shot.
True. True.
All right, you guys bypass Frau Perch step. So she is going to snap the reins on the creatures pulling her sleigh, and it is going to take off. Like you have to grab on to anything that's close by you and not flying off into the wind as she takes off through this landscape, just cackling. You have apparently made her day. Probably because she made someone else's day harder. And it's like she said, it's about a mile, so the rate you're going, it really doesn't take long. And she pulls up very quickly, and you all come jerking to a stop. Oop. I pushed a button.
Oh no. Oh no, it's all blurry. Oh my goodness.
no.
Uh-oh, what happened?
I don't know. I was just
It is clear on stream.
Okay, shut up, Chris. Okay. She pulls up, very quick stop, in front of a cave. And there's no mountain here. There's no hill. Just there's a bump in the landscape where there's a cave. It almost looks flat if you look at it from the side. She pulls to a stop. All right, last stop. Crumpus's domain. Do tell Crumpy I said hello and I'll see him next year.
Oh,
Get
certainly.
out. Get out.
Get out. I get out.
As soon as your foot leaves, the last of your feet leaves the sleigh, she takes off again. And she is very quickly lost to the snow that is swirling around. And you are left in front of this massive cave entrance that doesn't seem to be attached to anything.
She was a nice lady.
Well, there goes my plans for next year for Christmas tour. I guess then that they will have to give it to just like Mrs. Dion this.
All right,
All right, then let's go in.
You guys go into the cave?
Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna. I'll take the lead.
All right, you walk in, and as soon as you walk through the entrance, it is instantly warmer. Not that you were bothered by the cold, but it's almost like there's heating in here. The chill is gone. It's still a cave. It's dark and it's kind of creepy and spooky, but it's warmer and dry. And you can look around you. There's not much to it. It's rock, boulders. You can see it continues down in one straight shot for as far as you can see for now. So, do you continue down the cave?
I keep on walking, and I turn one of my hands into like the skeletal hand.
I'm
Like-
going to keep my head on a swivel and do a glimpse do a glimpse to truth roll just to see if that we need to be on the lookout for anything.
Okay. Go ahead and make that roll.
And that is a 7.
7, so hold 1.
Let me make sure that I'm right. No, actually no. Then that is mark experience.
Oh no.
So I don't hold 1.
Uh-oh.
But let's see, something bad on a glimpse of truth.
Oh, you
On
uncover a
6
dark
or
truth.
lower about my myself the situation, or another character. However, that I do end up getting a PowerPoint because of one of my moves that I know what's really going on. So I do gain a PowerPoint,
Well, that's good.
and then that, and then that, and then that the text says that the outcome will reinforce my belief about that the world, no matter how wrong the belief is.
Okay, so a dark truth. Okay, Livia, as you're looking around, you can see the further you guys get into the cave, the more stuff there is, as if this part is a little more lived in, like someone actually spends their time in here. The front was probably just an entryway.
Mm-hmm.
And as you are going through a one narrow corridor, there are some crates stacked, and you see sprawled on top is a big red jacket. Do you go over to and pick it up?
Yes, I go over and then pick it up.
You pick up the jacket. It is looks like it's a bit dirty. The sleeve is ripped, but you look at the tag inside, it says coat 5742 circa this year. This is Santa's current coat that you have just found in Krampus's cavern.
Going to, I guess it's that I got a hat. I'm going to keep the coat and continue with the others. And then show them like, guys, I hope that the big guy's okay. Meaning that I don't want to make any assumptions, and then that she's going to look at, and then that she's going to show them that the ripped sleeve.
Yeah, that's not a good sign at all. But maybe that means he's here at least.
Do you guys
All we can do is press on.
you guys continue further into the cavern?
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. As you push further on, rather than getting darker, it's actually getting a little lighter. And you realize around a corner up ahead of you, there is light. You're not sure if it's from fire or electricity, but it looks like there is some sort of light source. And you can't hear words, but you can tell that there are voices speaking around this corner. What do you do?
I'm gonna.
Eavesdrop.
Yeah, I would like to eavesdrop.
Going to
And you,
eavesdrop as well.
Okay.
I guess we can seek the truth, or let's see.
Because there's no stealth roll in this.
Keep your wits about you.
That's more of like. That's more of a social thing, I think. Oh.
Despite imminent disappointment, yeah, you guys haven't really experienced any of those just yet. What
Maybe
you could do glimpse the truth, or you could do be vigilant. It's up to you.
Okay. I'll do a vigilant.
Okay.
yeah, we'll do a be vigilant.
I mean, you can do different ones if you want. Any of you. I'm just glimpse the truth and be vigilant are probably what you want to draw from. And how close
That
do you
is-
guys want to get?
I want to be close to like that the edge of like the wall to where that you see where that the shadows of obviously that they are speaking it, but I get to my experience. I wrote a sentence.
Ooh.
I just want to get it close enough to be in earshot of the conversation.
Okay.
And I got a 7, so that's a hold 1.
Okay, and you're doing be vigilant or glimpse the truth?
Yeah.
Okay. Cindy?
And I got a 7 as well, and she was gonna do the glimpse of truth.
All right, let's go Jaclyn and then Cindy.
Okay. Is there any dangers we haven't noticed?
You don't think so?
All right, I'm just gonna listen in.
Okay, Cindy.
What new and useful information can I gather?
Now that you're closer, it's still a little hard to discern what's being said, but on the wall you can see two shadows. One that is very large and looks like something poking out of the top of its head, and one very round shadow. And those are the only two shadows and voices that you see. So you can discern that there are only two people around this corner, and they're probably the ones you're looking for.
How do we want to handle this? Just
Well,
round the
we could
corner all
bas-
hunky dory? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that we can try to basically just be like, "Hi, we just popped in."
I think we should be more bombastic than that. We jump in there and be like, "What's going on?"
I mean, that you know that that's what I want to do, but I'm trying to be tactful.
I think something in the middle would probably work, where we just confidently walk around the corner and ask them, hey, what's going on?
Oh, confidence is my middle name.
That works perfectly then.
I adjust my hat. I stand up straight. I'm like, "All right then, let's go." And I jump from the corner.
Cindy does not.
I'm like, "Hey, you,
Liv does not.
what's going on here?"
I'm assuming Cindy just kind of slinks around the corner like, I'm here too.
She just rounds the corner relatively normally.
I does like enter like a just kind of sort of like a stage entrance, kind of just thing, but kind of like more like gingerly, but like as if I'm about to get ready to perform, but still watching the situation.
You come around the corner, and it is an opening in the cavern. It is a massive domed area. It looks like this is probably where Krampus lives. You can see that there's a table. There's a bed over pushed up against a wall. Just very simply place for him to be and sleep, it seems. But standing in the middle of the room is the massive, about 7 foot tall Krampus with his hooved feet, black fur, goat-like face, massive curled horns, and sitting at his feet, tied up, is Santa, who doesn't look too worse for the wear, but not happy to be in this situation either. Well, look who the missus sent, Santa. I'm surprised she didn't send a contingent of elves. Instead, she sent the children. Why don't you all come in and we can talk?
What? Oh, well, did we walk in on something? Did we need to, like, is this like a private moment, actually? Like, this seems kind of chill. I'll go sit down. And I just hurry to a seat.
Do the same.
It's
But
not.
just kind of
It's
more
not
like that.
so much a private moment, as the old man needed to hear something, as was refusing to listen. Weren't we? Santa just kind of shakes his head. This is not the way to go about things. Well, the way you were going about things wasn't going to be working well anyway. Now, what are you children doing here?
to find out what in the world is going on because Santa didn't show. What's going on?
She couldn't even try and ask herself. She should have known it was me, shouldn't she have? Santa, no. What do you mean, no? Does she not know why I would be a bit miffed? Santa all of a sudden looks sheepish. And
I mean,
this is very confusing. Because the Krampus is irritated, but he doesn't seem to be violent. Doesn't seem to be malevolent at the moment or looking to hurt anyone, probably. But he doesn't look happy.
Did we walk in on an
I-
affair?
Did you say that, Cindy?
No. But she's thinking it.
I am going to use one of the overconfidence abilities. We are alike, you and I. You can see yourself in just everyone you are, and are able to make a strong connections with just everyone. And when you make a touch the hearts roll, you get to roll persona instead. And then I am going to be like, oh, my dear Krampus. I mean, that with me being just at the just at the Mary Carey songstress of that the season, I kind of sort of understand. Everybody always hates just hearing my music all across retail and such. So can we just level with each other for just a little bit? And I want to make a touch your heart roll.
Okay.
And I am going to add a PowerPoint to this.
All right.
So then I get to add three to whatever I roll.
Okay.
Oh yes, indeed. So then that is an 11 plus 3. That is a 14.
Jesus. So what does that do?
So basically, that they see the error in their ways and just remove themselves from the situation. You may form a relationship with them. I am going to go the cooperative route and just say like, oh, just my Krampus, my Mr. Krampus, sir. That just basically that you know what is the naughtier kids you can get all of the stupid children that are eating Tide Pods and just making very bad TikToks. That those are the bad ones you can go after.
Krampus steps away from Santa and over to you. And again, he's not threatening or anything like that. You've made a good roll. But he does he has a very large hand and he places it on your head and he goes, "You think this is about popularity, don't you? Little one."
Of course not. I don't think that it's not about popularity. I mean that I understand.
No.
That's just
You
that
think that because I am the scary one, the mean one, I want Santa's job or I'm jealous of Santa. No, you could not be more wrong, little one. He turns away and he walks away from y'all with his hands folded behind his back, and this is not how you expect a Krampus to be. He is pretty chill for what seems to be a kidnapping that he's committed. After all the stories you know of me, and everyone knows of me, I'm sure that I have a persona to many that I hate Christmas, or I hate the holidays, or I hate the little children.
I get that too. I understand.
I love the holidays. I love this holiday. But do you know what I love more? He turns around and he looks at you. I love the integrity of this holiday. And there is someone here who should uphold it far better than me, and he looks very pointedly at Santa, that has failed in that endeavor over the last several years.
Are we talking about his
that a
collaboration
light bulb
with Corporation?
finally clicks because of the low mental aspect.
Oh, you found something, didn't you, little spooky one?
Yeah, we were. I mean, we had to see where he went, and we did our own little sleuthing, little investigation. We found all these contracts from a bunch of capitalist pigs,
Do
just
you hear
screwed
that, Santa? The other pillars of this holiday have found something interesting among your possessions.
about. I'm a pillar of the holiday.
I think we all are.
Let me
This
be
is all.
clear right now. Santa did not miss St. Nicholas Day because I took him. I did my job. I took Santa after he missed St. Nicholas Day. Santa, would you like to tell them why you missed your normal practice run that you have never missed within any mortal's memory or most immortals' memory? Santa looks very sheepish. And he looks very concerned. Well, it's not that big of a deal. Just need it. Oh, you're not getting out of this one. I'm enjoying it at this point. Santa missed St. Nicholas Day for meetings with several of the corporations I'm sure you found contracts for. There was, I believe, a large video game company. And I believe one that makes sports equipment. And a tech bro.
Oh
At
no.
least you canceled the one with the man who makes the ugly electric truck. That one I would have had to have slit you in half for.
He hasn't gotten into NFTs. That crashed like 3 months ago, Santa.
No,
mean-
I know better than that.
I mean that Santa, that you're gonna break my heart of using just that that stupid thing called just like Chat GPT to just mimic my voice. How could you?
It's not. Do you know the things children want nowadays? These play game stations and these they don't want the wooden toys, they don't want the rocking horses, they want things that we have trouble making on our own, and some of these companies are
Infrastructure.
willing to work with us for a cut of what we have at the North Pole.
Wait a bit.
So let me get this straight. You want to basically you got all the magic in the world, and yet that you want to sign your soul
It's
off to a contract.
it's magic, but it's old magic, and sometimes it doesn't translate into the newer world yet.
I just have to like back things up. Are you saying that there is a profit motive to the North Pole?
What he's saying is, he's forgetting about the integrity of this. It was so simple back then. I found the bad ones. I can't smack them with a stick anymore. I haven't been able to do that for a while. I found the bad ones, they got something bad. He found the good ones, they got rewarded. The children were either happy or sad, and it was simple. You had to go commercial. And when I found out that you missed your own holiday, technically it's for a saint, your own holiday, I decided that maybe there needed to be a change. Maybe someone, for a while, who actually understands what this is supposed to be about, should take over for a bit. And
Perhaps there could be like a compromise? Because I think I mean, despite the fact that Santa's saying that, he has like a profit motive with the North Pole, which is disappointing. But he does have a point. Kids these days, they really like they like all their fun gadgets. They like Fortnite dances and
does anyone
all
even
that.
care about the old Christmas anymore?
I think
I
some
mean,
people do, but you know, as time moves on, people have different interests. Though, Santa, you could, I mean, PC Part Picker and Newegg exist. If you want to get stuff for children, you don't have to go through.
Just have them just order everything and just
Yeah, there's like
I mean that
wholesale deals you can do. Like,
yeah that I mean that I have a whole
This-
logistics company, and then that's how I'm able to get my albums rather. But but
Like,
I just certainly agree there.
Liv, I want to remind you that you have something.
Oh, and then that she is just going to go just basically up to him and just like here here Mr. Santa, you have this to remember. Doesn't this spark joy to your heart about the Christmas spirit? And then that she is just going to just basically hand him, well, is his hands tied up?
You could, he is currently tied up, but you could, show it to him or drop it on his lap, probably.
Cindy,
Oh, okay. Then I'm just going to just
while she's doing that,
go on.
Cindy's gonna come in behind and just start singing "Where Are You, Christmas" all nice and sweet to add to the ambiance of what Liv is doing.
And just
suddenly
basically
there's a
just going to be
bass
like,
guitar.
that you know that this is what that you know that this is all what the holidays are all about. And then that you know that you want everybody to have a Merry Christmas. And then she just drops it on like the final note right in his lap.
Santa looks down at the hat and he sees the inscription on the inside. Oh, this is the first hat that Mama made me the first night I went out. Those were the good days. The simple days before all the
Our corporate
Coca-Cola
overlords,
toys
yes.
and all of the Coke ads, and I didn't like the Coca-Cola ads either, but I did put up with that back then. Yes, I know. Yes, I know.
I mean that.
But
I mean
we did
that
get a
used to be
Charlie
that thing
Brown
like didn't it
Christmas.
that the Sprite, right?
Oh, maybe you all are right. I was trying to make my way in the new world and not have any of us fall by the wayside. Because if Christmas happens and I become less relevant, then that affects all of you. It affects everyone involved with the holiday. But maybe
Live
I was taking it a little too far.
Live is basically just going to just go and quickly just saying like it does affect all of us, but forgive me, but you are Santa. You spark joy up into everybody's hearts and joy and stuff. That if just anything that you should have leverage against them. That you should run the show more so, along with just Krampus's help as well. I got it. We can just basically have that the elves on the shelves just basically do the technology stuff too as well to give you ideas.
The Krampus is actually stroking his little goat beard. Oh, the elves on the shelf aren't smart enough to do that. You came across them in the office, didn't you? Santa looks up.
Yes,
What
we
did
did.
you do to the little ones? I just
I
had
was
them.
saying to them,
I just had them spying on you, for me, rather than on children for the last several months.
Well, you see, they kind of went haywire, though.
He kind of looks like he's kind of screws up his face and looks at the ceiling. Oh, yes. I guess I wasn't paying much attention to them at the moment after I brought Santa here. Oh, it's fine. He can make more. They're not really sentient so much as just dolls that can move around.
Well,
Although
that's good.
what they're saying is intriguing, Santa. Perhaps you have more weight than you think. Perhaps I do. You have
You
a
have
lot of
clout, Santa.
She looks up at Liv. You have a lot of lawyers, don't you?
I have a lot of lawyers and brand deals. Yeah, I can see
I
what I
might
can do
need
and
to
just basically
borrow
pull
some.
up you.
All right,
All right.
untie me, you old goat. I see where I've gone wrong.
All right.
Krampus kind of stands there for a second. Do you promise to actually think about what you're doing now? And think about how the good old days were still good? I promise. And Krampus reaches down and unties Santa, and Santa stands up and adjusts his suspenders. Now, where is my coat?
Oh, it's here and
Oh,
there.
oh,
and-
right here.
Oh,
Just here.
oh, you didn't have to be so rough pulling me in. Look, you've gone and torn it.
Oh, by the way, Krampus,
Hmm?
I have this for you, and I pull out another wreath.
Thank you. How did you all get in here anyway?
Oh, we have our ways.
Frau Perchta brought you, didn't she?
I said we had our ways.
She looks. He
I
looks
give a
over. He
shitty
looks at
grin.
Cindy, feeling it's. You can't lie. I don't think she brought you, didn't she? Or not lie well.
She's just gonna kind of like clam up for a second and say, no, she didn't, but she's nodding her head while she's saying that.
Well, I must commend you for at least convincing her to do that. I can convince her to do little. All right. Santa? We will try and work this out to where you are not selling out and ruining the spirit of this holiday. And I will try and be a little more flexible about bringing in newer methods. The rest of you are naughty for sneaking in here. And he kind of looks angry for a second. Just kidding.
Whew.
Just note to self: make a special Christmas album dedicated to Krampus. Just jots that down into it.
And with that resolved, Santa deciding not to sell out to corporate shills, they are able, once you make your way back out of the cavern, Santa gathers you around him, puts a finger to his nose, and you are whisked away back to Santa's workshop, where Mrs. Claus is ecstatic to see him back. And he tells her that perhaps they need to hire some legal help with a few issues that he hasn't quite let her in on yet. But with that, you guys have effectively saved Christmas and brought Santa back home.
We did it.
You did it.
We did it.
Oh, yeah.
Now, let's...
Thank you, Em.
I hope you guys enjoyed. I know I
that
really
was great.
didn't give us a break. I probably should have. I apologize for that. I know that we didn't do it quite the way by the book. It was a little different since it was trying to do a short one shot. But
It is what it is. It was fun either way.
I hope you guys had
Yeah,
fun.
it was a great game.
Good. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I hope anyone who watched, we actually had 5 or 6 viewers at one point, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I hope whoever watched that you enjoyed. This is only my second time running this, so and I had a lot less prep time than the first time. Hopefully we can maybe run this system again in the future,
Oh, I hope so. I like playing this system.
I hope so too.
and maybe with a little, maybe get more into the meat of the system than we were able to today, because there's a whole lot to it that's a lot of fun.
Maybe do like a longer form
Yeah, like
game.
maybe we could try a short campaign sometime here in the future.
Yeah.
But
I think that's a great idea.
But thank you guys for playing. I appreciate you participating. And just as an overall thank you to anyone who this Extra Life season donated, watched, shared to Extra Life itself for what you do. It's amazing. We love you. Thank you for sharing and commenting on our posts when we are a very tiny little team involved in the whole shebang. I would like to personally thank White Wing for creating this game because it's awesome, and for sharing my tweets on Twitter, or on X, whatever the heck you say now. And you can see all of our previous games and episodes over on our YouTube channel, where we are Team Bonus Action. We are on Team Bonus Action on Facebook. We are at bonus_team on X/Twitter. We have our website, teambonusaction.com. This is our last game for Extra Life, but you can still donate through the end of the year, I believe. So if you feel the spirit of Christmas, please donate if you can. It will all go to Batson Children's in Jackson, Mississippi. It's a great hospital. And we appreciate you all. Happy Hanukkah to those who celebrate. Merry Christmas. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy holidays as an overall to everyone out there. And since Knox is not here, 1, 2, 3. Don't let your meatloaf.
Let your meatloaf.
Don't
Damn
let
it!
your meatloaf.
All right, thank
God
y'all.
dang it.
Have
Comment,
a,
like, subscribe. Thank you all for watching.
have a good night.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.
All right, let's see. We went to